everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I thought that it would be fun to just kind of sit down and chat about going back to school this fall. I actually start in about 2 weeks, which is crazy to think. I'm going to be a sophomore at the University of Cincinnati, and I've just gotten some questions about like what classes I'm taking, how do I balance stuff, scheduling, all that kind of stuff. So I thought that it would be good just to sit down and kind of chat about it. Also asked you guys on Instagram if you had any questions, and some of you guys did, so I'll also be answering a few of those. And yeah, I do apologize for the lack of lighting. Our power is out and I kind of have nothing else to do but to film. So it's just a little bit darker than usual. Okay, so I'm just going to start off explaining just kind of the basics. So I will be a sophomore this year at the University of Cincinnati. However, I'm technically a community college student, so there's kind of like the main school and then there's two different branches that are both kind of community college, so I'm at one of them. And so technically I am a liberal arts major. I'll be getting my associates in that, which I'll graduate in May with my associates. And then I'm planning to go on to get my bachelor's in communication and then a minor in marketing. However, at the community college, you could actually take 6 credits at the main campus. So that's what I did last semester. That's also what I'm doing this semester. I'm doing 2 and 2, but this is my last year at the community college, which is actually kind of sad, but I'm also excited to move on to the main campus full time. So that being said, I do still live at home and commute to school. I am obviously I split my classes between the two schools, the main campus and the community college. So I drive to the community college. I'm hoping that I can catch the bus to take it to the main campus. However, my classes kind of runs a little bit later, so I might miss the bus. I'm not sure how it's gonna go. I'm gonna have to see like the first week. I'm hoping that I won't have to drive that much, but we'll see. So as for my classes, I have 15 credits, which is 5 classes. So the 5 classes that I'm taking, I do have 2 online this semester. One of the classes that I need to graduate with my liberal arts degree was actually canceled. So last minute, they're allowing me to take a different class in replace of that, but it's during the time that I was going to take physical geology. So I'm now taking that online. So at the community college, I'm taking Introduction to Native American Literature, which is counting towards my associates in liberal arts. I'm taking Intermediate Composition, which is just intermediate English, online. And then I'm taking Physical Geology online, which again, like, I'm not a huge fan of online classes, but I really wanted to take this class and I don't want to have to take 2 science classes next semester. Plus I just went to Iceland and it's like a volcano island, and so I'm kind of interested in geology right now, so I felt like this semester would be a good time to learn about all of that, and that way I could be like, oh yeah, I remember that in Iceland, or that makes sense, that kind of thing. And then at the main campus, I am taking Introduction to Personal Relations, which counts towards my communication bachelor's degree, and then I'm taking Introduction to Marketing, which obviously counts towards my marketing minor, which I'm really excited for both of those classes. Okay, so that's kind of the basics. I know it's kind of confusing. I'm obviously not doing college like most people do college, but I really like it, and I like being split, and I like having different stuff going on. So yeah, I'm gonna answer some of your questions now. Okay, so the first question I'm going to answer, just because it goes along with what I just said, was how do you plan your schedule so you can still commute to school while living at home? So I actually stacked all of my classes. Well, I only have 3 in person, which I think is also helpful. So I'm only going to be going to class Tuesdays and Thursdays, which will be really nice. In the fall and the spring, I had classes 3 days a week. So yeah, this semester I'll only have class 2 days a week. I'm out at the community college from like 11 to 12:20, but I'm probably gonna end up getting there around like 9:30, just to work on my online classes, to have like a chunk of time set aside for those. And then I head down to main campus. My first class starts at 2, and then I'm there until 5. So I think stacking classes is a great way when you're commuting, because I honestly don't like to drive like that much. And I think I'll only be driving like 3 hours a week to school, which isn't horrible. It's kind of a lot, but it's not too bad. So I think stacking your classes is really important, and then also not being afraid to take an online class. I've taken an online class every semester so far, and obviously like they're not ideal for me because I don't see the professor in person and it's kind of difficult to communicate through emails. Plus, if I don't have like both of my math classes this summer, I didn't have a physical textbook, and I absolutely hated it because I felt like I couldn't make myself learn because all of the information was online. So this semester and every semester after that I take an online class, I want to make sure that I have a physical textbook that I can highlight and like actually touch and mess with and stuff. So I think, yeah, just don't be afraid to take online classes, but make sure you look up the professors as well as the classes and just kind of make sure the online class you're taking is something you're a little bit more interested in. That way you don't slack off, because it is hard when you don't meet in class. You're like, oh, I can do that later. Oh, I can do that later. And then you miss like 2 assignments. Next question is, which class are you most excited for? And for some reason this semester I'm excited to go back to school, which I think was actually another question. So like I am excited to go back to school, but not as excited as I was before my schedule, like that class got canceled. Because like I have been planning out this semester since like April or something. Like it's been a long time coming, and then to have it all kind of fall apart, wasn't a huge fan of that. I think they'll all kind of end up being good. I would say I'm most excited for personal relations and marketing. But I'm also excited for geology, and I think my lit class and then my English class are probably going to be my last favorites, or my least favorites. Just because I know it's going to be a lot of reading and writing, and like I like to write, but I like to journal, I'm not like really an essay person, but yeah. This next question I thought was interesting. It's, how are your classmates? And I obviously haven't started school yet. I start August 27th. But I think like this is something that I had absolutely no idea about when I started college. College is not like high school, and obviously like I was homeschooled, but I still, like, the classes were small, much like many high schools, and so you're used to like knowing people and talking to them and having like a ton of different conversations and friends in all of your classes. And at college I literally know no one in all of my classes. Obviously like I would talk to people that I would sit next to, or I didn't really have any projects, so like some classes I literally did not say a word in, just like absolutely nothing. Whereas other classes, like I would talk to other classmates, or we would discuss, hey, like what do you think this exam's gonna be like? Oh, do you think we're gonna have a quiz? But it's like you don't really get to know your classmates, which is something kind of weird, because it's like, oh, college, everyone makes so many friends, but it's not from your classes, it's from like dorms, hallmates, you know, dining areas, kind of stuff like that, which is not what I expected. I think the only class that I really got to know my classmates was my speech class, which is actually probably my favorite class I've taken so far. Because you're vulnerable and you're open, and my professor was awesome, and she just made us, just the class was like a really great environment, so we were all really comfortable with one another. So that was nice because I really got to know those people probably the best so far. Okay, so the last question I'm going to answer is, how do you balance all of your classes? So homework, having a social life, etc. And I will say it's kind of hard, but kind of not. I'm a huge organizer and planner, so I get my stuff done, otherwise I stress out. Balance is something that I think is really difficult because it's so hard to find like the perfect balance. But for me, like my schoolwork comes first. Like I have to get that done, otherwise it's like always kind of in the back of my brain and I'm thinking about it if I'm hanging out with someone else or not doing homework. Like I'm constantly thinking about what I have to do, so I prefer just to do it, get it done, get it out of the way. That way I can enjoy my time with people or just kind of relaxing or something like that. Also, I'm gonna be honest, I don't have a ton of friends. I have one solid girlfriend and I have a couple of guy friends that I see more on like a weekly, bi-weekly basis. So a social life is just like truly kind of not a big priority for me, I guess. Obviously I love spending time with my friends and family for that matter, but it's easier just because I don't have a huge friend group. And I honestly just really like being alone, so I don't have to balance that as much, but I do work. I think I'm set to work like 23 hours during the school year. I work at a dance studio, so I get to work with like little kids and I get to do business, back office, social media. Also, when it's quieter, I can do some homework and stuff like that. So it's a very relaxed and kind of flexible job. So yeah, balancing everything is obviously very difficult, but I feel like I've done a pretty good job with that last year. And I think I'm going to continue that. The only thing now is that this year I will have YouTube to kind of focus on, because I definitely want to do like one video a week. And obviously continue my Instagram, which does take a decent chunk of time. I think honestly, to balance, you have to plan, you have to write things down, and you have to like not procrastinate. Like last semester in the spring, I guess it was the fall, right when I started college, like I didn't watch Netflix almost that entire semester because like I was always doing homework, I was working, or I was sleeping, honestly. So there were also a couple questions like asking for tips for incoming freshmen, which I want to film with my friend because she's in my grade, so we'll both be sophomores this year. So I thought that it would be fun to film that. So I'm gonna ask her to do that. Let me know if you guys want to see that. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close this video off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys have any other video requests, or I want to know what grade you're in, or like if you're in college, where you go to college, because I think that'd be really interesting. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram to stay updated on my everyday life, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!